Welcome to Foodytime. I'm Jay Fettigan, and in this episode I talk about spring, and in particular Easter, with my friend Laura from the Spirited Gourmet. Enjoy.
I'm Laura. I'm the general manager here at the Spirited Gourmet. I love to throw a good food and wine party. I've been in food and wine for my entire career, so 25 years. And right now, I want to talk to you about foods that are amazing for the springtime, great for the Easter holiday,
Great.
and things that I'm excited about as we push into the spring season.
That sounds great. Yeah, let's why don't we start with Easter? And uh, do you have like family history with Easter? Did you used to celebrate Easter or get new clothes or
So
any of the traditions?
So I grew up. I grew up a preacher's kid. My father was an Episcopalian minister growing up, and and my grandfather is also Episcopalian minister.
Uh-huh.
So Easter's always been very celebrated in my house through doing the whole Lent, Palm Sunday, everything.
Right.
And pretty traditional foods in my Vermont upbringing household. So, a nice ham dinner, scalloped potatoes, and asparagus. Very, very traditional in that aspect for our Easter celebration. And of course, the infamous egg hunts outside, many of them. Yeah.
Oh, that
Uh,
sounds great.
yeah. What about you? Any good traditions for you?
I did grow up. My parents were very devout Catholics, so we did. It started on Ash Wednesday and then went Palm Sunday and Easter, and we always got new outfits to wear to mass, and had a bit.
Oh, yes.
Usually turkey because that was what my mother liked to make. So we would
Oh,
usually.
turkey. Oh, nice. Yes, I remember the little white saddle shoes that my sister and I had, matching white saddle shoes and matching little dresses every Easter for sure.
No, I just was
Yeah.
looking through some family photos, and I found a picture of myself and my brother and sister all dressed up for Easter in the new sport coat and tie, and my sister was wearing a great dress, and my brother was wearing a sport coat and tie. So yeah, it
That's
was.
awesome.
It was. I've kind of gotten away from the religious part of it, but I still enjoy Easter for the food and the in the fun.
Exactly. I enjoy it for the food and the fun. And my opportunity now, my job at Easter is to be the one to bring the wine, and I'm always responsible for the cheese board. So
Right. Well, that's a wise. It would be wise for anybody when you're coming to put you in charge of the cheese.
absolutely. Spring is a very important time for cheese,
Mhm.
especially important time for local cheese,
Mhm.
because anybody who is a cheesemaker who is local, make sure that their goats are kidding in the springtime. So the
Huh.
freshest, best goat's milk arrives right in the springtime, and not only is it the freshest milk because they've just had the kids,
Right.
the baby goats, the kids. It's the freshest milk also because they're not eating the dried feed any longer. They're eating the fresh flora and the grasses, and so there's a really beautiful brightness and herbaceousness to the milk, and they're not working on frozen supply for the goat's milk any longer.
Wow, that's
So,
fascinating.
so you're going to see a huge difference in the taste of the goat's milk cheeses that you're getting, that you've been enjoying in the winter, to the goat's milk cheeses that you get to enjoy in the spring.
And I would
So
imagine this would be in particular the local cheeses.
local cheeses and Europe, and parts of Europe that fit the
Mm.
same cycle as we go through. So really, France, you're going to see that the best cheeses, goat cheeses from France coming in now, locally coming in now. So our case is just chocked full of amazing fresh goat cheeses right now that have
Oh,
just arrived. They're 2 week to 3 week ages on those goat cheeses. So they are the newest, freshest, most tasty, goat cheeses we'll have all year.
oh,
So,
wow. Well,
yeah.
that's a great recommendation. I'm certainly going to come down and pick up a little variety, especially with Easter coming up. So
Yeah, definitely.
so do you have thoughts about? I mean, there are traditional Easters and Easter meals, and then there, are some untraditional or places where people can can maybe try and experiment with the different things. Do you have any thoughts on that?
Absolutely. I do. So, I am a traditionalist when it comes to Easter dinner because you know that nostalgia, like, you can't fight it. You want to. So I'm big on a traditional ham dinner,
Hmm.
and I always do it with just nice fresh asparagus and simple au gratin potatoes.
Hmm.
Pretty basic, but what I always jazz up the ham with is a bitter Sicilian orange marmalade.
Mm, wow.
And so the Sicilian orange marmalade is going to be a lot brighter, less sugary.
Hmm.
And what I do to make the glaze for the ham is I'll use the Sicilian orange marmalade, super high quality honey. I recommend Fortula.
Oh,
Fortula is Greek forest honey.
that is the most. I
Love it.
have to chime in on that. That is the most amazing honey. That.
It is the most amazing honey. It's so good. We also have local honeys that are coming to season. We have Spring Blossom here from Carlisle, which would also be a nice honey to use.
Yeah.
But I suggest because the Portula is so flavorful
Yeah.
and this marmalade is so flavorful that to add this with just a little honey and the marmalade as your glaze for your ham.
Wow.
Super simple, just mix the two together. Some people like to add a little Dijon for some sharpness. I let people add their own Dijon at the end and just keep it nice and like sweet and bubbly on the outside of the ham because you have the salty and the sweet. And I love that juxtaposition very much. So
That's great.
I'd recommend those two products as the way to really go next level with your ham.
Right. And
Um,
can I just pause for a second here?
yes.
A lot of people don't necessarily know, like, what do you look for in a ham? How do you pick a ham? Are there differences?
So, there are differences. If I were to pick a ham, I'd be not selling ham here,
Right.
but I love a good Mackenzie
Mhm.
smoked ham.
Uh-huh.
Mackenzie makes a great ham. It's just you just want to look for I like a cured ham when we're cooking ham for Easter. I just want to make sure it's cured, but really you just want to make sure it's cured and plain before you put
Right. That
your
was a
special
little.
marinade on it. Yeah, because a lot of times they have those um, like pre-seasoned hams, and you just want to make sure it's not a pre-seasoned ham.
Right.
Yeah, and just follow the warming instructions. I think that any basic ham though is gonna taste really, really pretty good. Yeah, so just make sure it's a nice, smoked ham
Mhm.
that you're reheating and that you're, adding the glaze just at the end.
Yeah, I know that's the nice thing about Easter is because it's ham. It's not, it's such an easy meal. You just have to warm it up. It just has to be
It's
hot enough.
so
It's
easy.
it's great.
Yeah, so
So
easy.
what else? What else? What other recommendations
Okay.
do you have?
So, I love asparagus in the springtime,
Yeah.
and, if you're in Europe during the springtime,
Mhm.
you're probably gonna see a lot of white asparagus.
Mm.
White asparagus is extremely, extremely popular, especially in Germany.
Mhm. Mm.
And I love to make asparagus salads with this white asparagus, but it's also amazing just on a crudité platter with, other pickled items.
Yep.
But what I'd suggest for this, for a nice spring easy salad, is just to make a simple lemon vinaigrette with some fresh parsley and
Mhm.
chives. Super simple, really refreshing.
Mhm.
The main difference between regular asparagus and white asparagus is they intentionally grow the white asparagus in the dark, so it's devoid of chloroform.
Uh-huh. Uh,
And because they're growing it in the dark, it gets this really sweet kind of taste to it. Whereas asparagus can be more astringent on the end.
mhm.
This is more sweet. It's a creamier texture. It's very good. And so we have this year round, but we
Uh-huh.
sell a lot more at this point of the year.
Mhm.
Also good with just like a little, fresh seasonal goat cheese over the top and fresh parsley and a drizzle of olive oil
Uh,
or lemon agrumato,
And
something like that.
do you have recommendations, suggestions for what people should look for in olive oil? I know I kind of keep
Oh
taking
yeah.
us off on
Oh
tangents, but that
yes.
when you're saying that, it's like, oh man, I've been really looking for a tasty olive oil. What should I look for?
Yes. So you always want to look for obviously extra virgin olive oils.
Mhm.
Those are the first pressing of the olive oil. That's one thing to look for. You also, it's really important to look at if it's an amazing olive oil and you see a really high price point on the olive oil, look to see what awards that is won. If you see that it's won, yeah, there's the Japan Olive Oil Awards, an extremely important competition. World Olive Oil Awards, an extremely important competition. And we have 4 different olive oils in stock now that are the top of the line when it comes to all of the awards around the world, including Norfez olive oil from Morocco, which is made with Picholine olives, and Puro olive oil. This is from Tuscany, and that is made with a field blend of olives that are grown on the same fields that they grow the vines of Brunello di Montalcino. So it's amazing land that they're growing it on.
Yeah, and I found that the flavor profiles in olive oil can be almost as varied as a type of wine. I don't. Do you experience that too?
Oh, absolutely, yes. Type of olive, if it was picked and then pressed, that's another thing you want to look for. You always want to pay attention to the date of when it was pressed when you're picking up the bottle. The freshest is better.
Yeah.
You don't want to save your nice olive oil. You want to use your nice olive oil.
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's a great piece of advice because people are always thinking it's like, oh, I'll save this for a special meal. Then by the time
Yeah,
you waited too long.
absolutely. So that would be my suggestion for olive oil.
Right.
Look at the harvest date, look at the awards that it's won. Some olive oils will tell you, how many antioxidants they have in them, but really, extra virgin olive oil is extremely high in antioxidants because the fruit is picked and pressed right away.
Yeah, olive
Yeah.
oil is. Yes, I could. My grandmother used to, for lunch, if we had some stale Italian bread around, just rip it up into chunks and cut up some sliced fresh tomatoes from their victory garden in the backyard and pour this most delicious olive oil that they always use, Italian from Italy. This delicious olive oil. They add a little oregano on top, and that was, I can't tell you.
Benzanella.
I would be right, but I would come home from kindergarten, and that would be my lunch. And as I still
Oh, absolutely. It's such a good lunch. Yum.
Oh, I still do it. I still have that lunch frequently, by today.
That's
So tell me
great.
more about. So you have more thoughts on
So
Easter
I
and
I
spring?
just wanted to say, I think it's a great time of year to support your local chocolatier.
Uh huh.
Yeah. And so we just started carrying Petrova chocolates, and they are made in East Boston.
Uh huh.
And the woman who makes them is so studied in her craft, and she hand paints all of the truffles with additional chocolate,
Yeah.
and the flavors are so delicious. This one has apple cider caramel, a red wine passion fruit, a walnut baklava truffle, and these are fantastic. Petrova, delicious.
Oh, that's such a great suggestion because, of course, people are buying lots of chocolate this time of year with, and it makes sense to not buy those awful tasting bunnies. And
Exactly. You don't want a waxy bunny. And to avoid waxy bunnies, we're also doing single origin, completely solid, locally made, but single origin Ecuadorian chocolate.
is that
That's
dark
them.
chocolate?
This is dark. We also have milk and we have white, but it's single origin chocolate. And then my friend Lala of Two Friends Chocolates makes these in Boxborough, Massachusetts. And so you're not going to get that waxy Easter bunny. If
Right.
you want to spoil yourself with chocolate, spoil yourself with good chocolate. And I wish I could show everyone how adorable this is, but it's like has a really happy bunny face on it. It's really cute. But yeah.
I was
But
at
yeah.
I was really lucky again growing up that my grandfather owned a, a bakery and a grocery store in the Italian section of Rochester, New York. And whenever we would visit, we would always visit around Easter. And he would bring these, they would just make chocolate bunnies there, solid milk chocolate.
Oh,
And it was just, there have been few times that in my life that I have had chocolate that tastes better or as good as those bunnies did every Easter. It was such because they were just made right there in
oh, it's the best.
yeah.
It's the best. My kid might be I'd be okay with a Reese's Cup egg, but for my husband and I, I'm definitely gonna go Petrova or Two Friends.
Wow, that's great. That's and it's also good because there's quite a bit of controversy going on right now in the chocolate world with lead and Lindt chocolates in trouble and other companies. It's nice to just go local.
Yeah, there seems to be carcinogens in everything, so the more small production you can choose to, go with, the better.
Yeah,
Yeah.
uh, that's great. So, do you have other thoughts?
Just,
Great.
getting excited about goat cheeses in the case, fresh goat cheeses, getting
Right.
excited about, really going, taking my ham to the next level with Sicilian marmalade and Portula honey,
That's
um,
great.
making fresh asparagus salads, especially with the nice sweeter, variety of the white asparagus,
Oh,
going spoiling myself with nice chocolates for Easter. I don't know. But I do have an Easter banner up, spiritedgourmet.com. Um, we have an Easter banner up for all the chocolates, and then we have an Easter banner up for, wines that we, suggest with ham or lamb.
if you were to give me a phrase or a single sentence about Easter, what would it be?
Well, I think it's just a beautiful time to welcome in spring and the welcome in changes into your life and the warmth and the sunshine coming back into all of our lives and enjoy those flowers and the simple things around you. I don't know. I love Easter. I love spring. So I don't really have any tagline, but
No, that's absolutely perfect. That's well, this has been terrific. Thanks so much. I know how busy you are, and I really appreciate the time. It's a terrific interview.
let's
Thanks a
hope.
lot.
Yeah.
B-
Thanks.
Bye. Well, Laura's always got great recommendations, and I think I might just try that glaze that she was talking about for my Easter ham this year. Uh, if you're in the Belmont area around Boston, you should stop into Spirited. They've got great people, terrific products, and they really, really enjoy what they're doing. And you know what? If you don't live around here, find a little wine shop, find a little gourmet shop, and go in and meet the people. You'll be amazed at the great advice and suggestions, and they're always a pretty nice, interesting group of people. Well, this is Jay Fettigan. I'll see you next time on Foodie Time.